Hey everybody, it's Wes, aka Joe Hunter 73. Hope everyone's having a fantastic week. And we are going to be talking about the 1988 catalog today. 1988 catalog, and also this thingamabob that came in whatever vehicle, playset, or aircraft you got back in 1988, along with that wonderful piece of artwork on the 1988 catalog. And before we do any of that, let's get to the G.I. Joe mail call.
Don't make me come over there and snatch you up off that couch. It's time for mail call.
All right, we are in the G.I. Joe mailbag, and ready for some G.I. Joe viewers mail call. So this was on the 1987 video, and thank you for everyone that left me a comment and also gave me a like as well. Just going to go through some of the comments here. Yorktown Joe, big buddy, how are you? And you had a birthday last week. So awesome, bud. Happy birthday. Wes, great video. Thanks. Falcon was the highlight. Another kid brought him on a school bus and showed him off. I asked him to bring the card back the next day, and we checked out the thumbnails on the cross sale, and I went with Falcon based on his file card and comic appearance. Total pro. Great fig. Yes, Falcon was a great figure for 1987, and if you watch the video that I did on 1987, you'll understand what he's talking about there on what my feelings were on Falcon. WJ, what's up, WJ? 1987. Oddly enough, the year I got into G.I. Joe. That's a good year to get into G.I. Joe. Fantastic. And was very confused over the lack of cartoon toys in it. Yeah, Sunbow ended in 1986, and the movie was really just the final episode to the Sunbow empire, I guess, is if you want to call it that, with a few sprinkles of the 87 Joes in there. So yeah, they did miss out a lot on some of those stuff. He left me another reply too. Oh yeah, Crystal Ball. That's right. Yeah, cool. See if I can do this right. Yes, I did. Snow Leopard 9741. Thank you for the comments, and I appreciate it. I always wanted the MCC as a kid and would look over the images a lot. Never had it as a child, but it was one of those first things I purchased when I started collecting. That's awesome. Glad you have it now. And yeah, I'd do the same thing. That's what these catalogs were about, right? Looking over the stuff that we wanted, that sometimes we knew that we were never going to get. And, no matter how much we pestered our parents for. But yeah, man, I'm glad you got that. Dave C. straight from the pit. What is up, man? My buddy up in Canada. 1987 was such a different year. Tunnel Rat with Larry Hama's head sculpt is a total highlight. Yes, it is, sir. Yeah, 87 was a different year. I'm just kind of going out of Joe's myself then. Danny Ice Cable, what's up, man? How are you? Fantastic Instagram account. If I can plug your Instagram account, Alpha One, man, I'm going to mess this up. I'm sorry, Danny. But go search for Alpha One. He does some amazing customs on there. Wes, same on the Falcon for me as well, my friend. He was one of the new Billy Badasses and on the block, and still is. He is one of my faves. Then after the movie, I used him as a badass that just had the new redemption angle from the movie. Great video game. Keep up. Yeah, that's a good way to play Falcon as well. I never used Falcon that way. I didn't like how Falcon was portrayed in the movie, as Danny is talking about there. So I always thought, yeah, he was a Billy Badass. Steve, what's up, man? Thank you for the comment. Great vid. Thanks for the Joe content. You are welcome. Be sure to go check out my other Joe content on my channel. Another Steve. Hey, G.I. Jokers. At first glance, the Red Dog head sculpt looked like Elvis impersonator. Yeah. Again, check out the video because there's some different head sculpts, not just on the Sarge's Renegades. Every single one of them have Red Dog, Taurus, and Mercer have a different head sculpt than what we actually got. And so did Globulus, and, well, their bodies were different. Ronnie Drickshot, what's up, man? Thank you for your comment. Well done, Wes. So funny how 87 was when you were getting out of Joe. I was getting in. Promise you'll dig up some 90s catalogs and talk about it. How cool are the neon stuff? We'll see about that, Ronnie. If I get any in hand, I might. I'll definitely do them if I have some in hand. Thank you for that comment, Ronnie. I really, really appreciate it. Repellich 83. Sorry if I'm pronouncing the name wrong. In 87, I was 4. Crazy Legs is that figure in the local ShopRite that caught my eye, and parents grabbed it off the pegs. Fast Draw was a cool design. I played with at a friend's because I didn't have one. To me, the Ice Viper with the size was Storm Shadow in winter gear. That's a good way to imagine that. Yeah, I can see that. Love the wolf design. Yeah, you mentioned some really cool, I had Crazy Legs. I got Crazy Legs in 87. Such a cool figure, the way the detail was on that suit that he was wearing and just the texture that it felt on there. Cool color. If you swap out Crazy Legs head and put a Viper from 86 head on there, just do a little bash. That's a Cobra paratrooper right there. Goes really well with the red. And Fast Draw, Fast Draw had a cool design as well. Retro Tinker, what up? Nate, Retro Tinker. Great video, dude. There were a lot of cool Joe toys in 87. Yes, there was, buddy. Thank you for the comment. Lair Bear, how's it going, sir? Awesome video, brother. Thank you, Larry. Podcast from the Pit. Awesome. Great video. Thanks, Casey. Everyone go check out Casey's podcast on Saturday morning. And if you can't catch it on Saturday morning, it's at 8 a.m. Eastern time. 7 Central, 7 o'clock in the morning, Central time. Check out his podcast that he does mostly every Saturday, unless he's at a toy show. He has some great guests on, talk about a wide variety of things. Make everyone go check out Podcast from the Pit on YouTube. That's all for the comments. I really appreciate it. Make sure that you leave them on this video that we're doing here for the 1988 catalog that we're going to get back to right now. Thanks again. And we are back. Thank you again for all the lovely comments in the 1987 video I did a little while ago. So we're down to just a couple of catalogs here. So today we're going to be talking about the 88 catalog. But first, this is also came out in 1988. And let me take the little focuser thing off there. So, is this the end of Sergeant Slaughter? I don't know. Is it? Who knows? So we got the special bulletin down there below. We got the old school TV that we would have had back in 1988. And we got Hooded Cobra Commander and a picture of Sergeant Slaughter screaming. On the flip side, Raise the Flag. Proof for purchase, the clip and save flag points again. So let's find out what this thing was about. So I can't remember what this is about. It's been a while since I've actually thumbed through it. So this is really fresh for me. Oh, look at that. It's the same picture there. So Cobra Commander's got Sergeant Slaughter chained up in a cell. It's really cool artwork. Look at the muscles on Sarge. Yeah, that's really cool. All right. Ooh, Okay, I know what this is. Ah, it's ripping. Man, old paper just doesn't last that long. Well, it looks like this pamphlet isn't going to last too much longer. But let me see if I can get through with it. So, G.I. Joe tackles Cobra in a worldwide manhunt. Two of the G.I. Joe's top military men and all-star football legends, Bazooka and the Fridge, have been called in to double-team Cobra and launch an all-out search for the Sarge. According to the high-placed G.I. Joe officials, entire squadrons of Cobra ferrets have been patrolling several locations around the globe. So, I could read on and on, but I'm not. Anyway, yeah, it looks like this top part, there, it finally ripped. Darn it. Oh, well. But yeah, so this is basically an offer to get, get the parachute pack for $2 and 2 flag points. Get the Snowcat for, I can't read that, Snowcat for $7.50 and 3 flag points. The All Striker, the Devilfish, the LCV, all right. The Ferret, and there's their heads cut off. So, save Bazooka and Fridge. Save on Bazooka and the Fridge. $6 plus 2 flag points. So, what's funny about this, though, down here, I do remember taking a picture of this and putting it on my Instagram months ago, and maybe even last year. Stinger? No. Hiss? No. Copperhead, yes. Everybody else is fine. Thunder, Crankcase, Frostbite. So you can get all these for 6-figure set. Oh, okay. So you get all 6 of them for $17 and 3 flag points. That's kind of cool. That's pretty cool. On the back, we here have Hooded Cobra Commander still being shipped out. We get the Cobra Officer. So in 1988, to be able to actually get the Cobra Officer would have been really cool. Being able to mail away for that. Same thing with Major Blood and Sergeant Slaughter, right? So, I think as a collector, we think that it's pretty cool that you could mail away and get the Cobra Officer now. However, back in the day, when you have new figures coming out and you're saving your money for that, you're twisting your parents' arms to get that. Are you really going to want a Cobra Officer from, 1983, 1982? So, yeah, it was kind of interesting. Slaughter snatching backed by blood. That's pretty cool. So what's on the back of this one? Oh, okay. We got some more stuff. You get a wristband or a watch. Digital watch. G.I. Joe. Who had a G.I. Joe watch? Learn to be a G.I. Joe. Fan club. So you get a hat, a poster. That's pretty cool. Dog tags. I don't know what that is. Is it maybe a patch? And the other two, I guess I could probably read, right? Let's see. You also get an International G.I. Joe passport, a G.I. Joe Steel Brigade fatigue cap. You'll even, issue stainless steel dog tags that embroider with your name and address. It comes everything was being put like your address was like everyone was wanting to know your address back in the day. I guess if you were lost or something or someone took you. We wouldn't do that today. So pretty cool. I'll have to make sure that I put the thing that's torn away. But yeah, this was a pretty cool little pamphlet So I'm sure it came with the when you got a vehicle, playset, or aircraft, and came with the catalogs. So 2 years left, 88, 89. These are the last two that I have on hand. So today, 1988. Let's look at the cover here. So really cool, intense battle happening. You got all the new vehicles on display. So I wasn't watching, looking, paying attention to G.I. Joe in 88. This does not ring a bell at all. I never had this. I only recently actually got this from one of the things I purchased, I don't know, within the last year or so, and they threw this in, so it was kind of cool. Got to see a catalog that I had never owned before, so this is all going to be kind of new for me as far as, just like looking through it and everything. I've looked through it before, but I just, the fact that I never had this as a kid, I was out of it. I paid no attention to it. So there is no nostalgic feel that ties me to this. It's cool to have. And there's some figures that I have from 88 now as a collector, but I don't have every single thing in there as like I try to do from 82 to 87. So the back of it is basically flipping right on over and you get your figures. So let's open this up to here. We get some good old 1987 vehicles. You got the Cobra Sea Ray, the Cobra Wolf. What Battle Gear pack is that? Battle Gear Pack 5. I don't think... Well, I know I never had that one. I'm just trying to think, is that... Doesn't say new. So is that Battle Gear Pack 5? Was that from 87? No, because it has Road Pig on it. Yeah, so that's 88. All right, cool. And then you got the Pirate Skiff, the Jetpack, the Pogo, the Buzzbore, Dreadnought Cycle, very lame name for it. Let's go ahead and fold this bad boy open. Get to the figures last. Dun, 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 dun. I'm going to unfold it off camera so I don't knock everything over. We'll start on the Cobra side this time. Is that how I always do it? I don't know. All right, we got the Cobra Bug. Now, I know some people out there, some of you are following me on my YouTube channel. Some of you follow me on my Instagram channel. I know you all love that bug. So tell me, is this a prototype bug or is this the bug that you got or if you have right now in your current collection? I don't own it. When I think I first saw this, probably... Man, when did I see this? Probably 2018. I don't know if I ever saw it before that, but wasn't really that big on the bug. I've come around on it quite a bit now. Joe Berg, G.I. Joe Berg, did a fantastic play motion video several years ago with underwater filming of the bug and the perfect way to use it. And if you're kind of going back and forth on the bug to get it in your collection as an adult, go and find that video. It is fantastic. So it shows you up here kind of what it comes with, a little jet ski type of thingaroo that Road Pig's on, and then like an escape pod or miniature submarine. And I mean, everything on here is really cool. The way the playability is just endless on this thing. So it's a land vehicle, it's a submarine, a sea vehicle. So it's really cool. Cobra Stiletto. Now I do have this and I really like it. It is definitely a space aircraft. This thing would not fly in atmospheric conditions. It's a dart. So this is definitely for space. My headcanon, I imagine that it is concealed inside of a Cobra rocket. And when that rocket finally gets up to space after it goes through maybe 2 to 3 stages, similar to like the Apollo rockets, and then it's a bay door opens up and this thing pops out with the pogo. That's right. That's how I play with it in my head. But yeah, and you don't really get a good look of the what is the figure that comes with it? Star Viper. Cobra Pilot Star Viper. Yeah. So you don't get a good look at him. He is pretty cool. Do you like him? Here's the Cobra Mamba. It's really good. That's basically the same picture from 87. Same thing with the maggot. Same picture that they used in the 87 catalog. Cobra Adder. This thing is actually, it's a very basic vehicle. It doesn't come with a figure. It's one of those vehicles that were cheap. Affordable. Let's say affordable, not cheap. And I actually picked one up this year, earlier in the spring. And it's really, really cool. I've seen pictures and a video of basically them removing the rockets and then attaching the fire bat to it. And basically this thing can haul your fire bats into battle. So that's another cool little headcanon play motion that you can do. The Cobra Battle Barge. So what's your thoughts on the Cobra Battle Barge? I don't have a whole lot of thoughts on that. The next time G.I. Joe team attempts to attack Cobra Island, the battle barge will be there ready to get them. It detects G.I. Joe forces through its long-range radar dish, then destroys them with its floating strategic gun emplacements. So this thing is floating out at sea. Okay. Yeah, you can play with it like that. Basically, like it's a flotation type of anchor, where it's probably just anchored and stationary. Or you can, kind of like the 1986 Law, you can have that placed around your Cobra bunkers as well. Yeah, that's how I would play with it. I don't have it. All right, moving on. We already saw this page here, but we didn't get a look at the Imp. Imp's actually really cool looking. I think those rockets are really cool, and how they're utilized. When Cobra wants to drive the G.I. Joes into a corner, they deploy the devastating Imp. The highly mobile missile launching vehicle features 3 removable missiles. It almost looks like there's 4 on there, but maybe it's just the way it's angled. But yeah, there's 3. There's 3 missile tips. And 3 removable missiles that break apart to disperse landmines. That's a really cool feature on a missile. I'm trying to think of the real world missile or bomb it's like a cluster bomb, where a cluster bomb explodes. Man, I might be wrong on this. I want to say it's a cluster bomb. It explodes over the target and shrapnels down like miniature grenades. Then that explode. So the shockwave will like tear some wreckage upon you. And if that doesn't do it, then the little grenades from the cluster bomb that will, yeah, definitely do some damage. I want to say I might be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. All right. So interesting enough, we get 2 figures. So it's kind of interesting. They've never done this before on any of the catalogs. So it's the Iron Grenadiers, Voltar, and the Iron Grenadier. What does that say? Destro's General. Yep. So I do have both of those. I do think they are really cool. I really like the Iron Grenadiers detail, sculpting, and color pattern. So they did a fantastic job in 88 on this. You got the despoiler. Destro's despoiler. See, here they're going against Battle Force 2000. So it's one thing I brought up in my 1987 catalog video is that Battle Force 2000 was never featured in the catalog, and I'm not sure why. I still don't know why. So, yeah, it's interesting. And then here you have Destro. AGP. That's a weird name. Anti-gravity pod. So kind of a futuristic pod looking thing there. It's kind of cool. I'm down with that. I wonder why they haven't named twice. Are they doing that on all of them? Yeah, they are. Interesting. Okay, so you can check the box or circle the box instead of, ruining your picture. They're putting a place to where you can check it off or circle it if you want it. So, okay, that's cool. I'm down with that. So here we get the demon. The demon's really cool. I really dig the demon. And then, of course, we all know that with the demon, you can put the despoiler on top of it. So that's pretty cool. All right, let's flip it on over to the Joes. As you were anticipating these catalogs when you were getting them, did you look forward more to what Cobra had to offer or what the Joes had to offer? So I was kind of both. I mean, I was excited for new toys in general. And I think possibly when I remember first seeing the actual pictures of this stuff, somehow I was like, yeah, okay, I'm always a fan of Cobra just because their stuff was a lot cooler. But here we go with the massive Rolling Thunder. I've gone back and forth on this if I want to have this in my collection. Again, I had no idea this was out in 88, but this thing is really cool looking. Reminds me of an old kind of the way the Soviets had their Cold War missile trucks back in the day, like in the early 80s. And yeah, why this is a G.I. Joe vehicle, I don't know. This is a ballistic ICB, it's an ICBM, two of them. I mean, they can just end Cobra right here and there. They just can't get approval from, General Hawk can't get the UN to approve such an attack. So why do they have this? This should be a Cobra vehicle, in my opinion. But getting all the new Joes here, which is that can't be Footloose, is it? It kind of looks like Footloose. My eyes are really bad, and I'm wearing glasses. Hang on. No, it's not going to focus anymore. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But yet there's Hawk, 1986. Interesting. And if you haven't looked at the figures yet, and if you're not following the comics and you open this up and you see Storm Shadow or somebody that looks like Storm Shadow here, you're thinking, WTF? I mean, it was up until 2018 when I found out that Storm Shadow switched sides. So, yeah, because I didn't read the comics. Okay, what are your thoughts on the Rolling Thunder? Should it be a Joe? Should it be a Cobra vehicle? And if you had it, how did you play with it? And look, it even tells you right here, place a check mark in the box of the vehicles and figures that you own? Okay, will do. There is the picture from 87 of the Defiant. And then here we have the Phantom. So the Joes finally get an aircraft to compete against the speed of the Cobra Night Raven. And this guy is huge. It is really cool looking. Kind of looks like the Dark Star from Top Gun Maverick. And yeah, this is a really cool aircraft. So lots of really cool features. And what's the pilot's name? We always forget him, right? Call back to the comics. But yeah, it's not even listed here. Includes stealth pilot. That's funny. So Cobra Stealth. And then we get the Mean Dog. Mean Dog looks like something that would be coming out of a movie of like a totally type of, like Damnation Alley, post-apocalyptic type of scenario. Yeah, just with the vents that are kind of like shutters or something for the windows. But yeah, the Mean Dog's actually a really cool vehicle. I really like it. Like the color of it. Kind of a darker tan, so it's not just for the desert op. It could be for any op, actually. Comes with the driver wild card. Here we get the mobile command center, the pulverizer, the Warthog. It's kind of funny how small the Warthog is on this catalog. Because it is new. It's a new vehicle for 88. What are your thoughts on the Warthog? Let me know. Skystorm X-Wing Chopper. How are they able to get away with it being called an X-Wing? Is it because they put Skystorm X-Wing Chopper? Supersonic Chopper. So, kind of cool looking. It's like a dart. Swamp Smasher. Swamp Smasher to me always looked like a Cobra vehicle. I do like the colors of the purple. That is a cool looking purple. Looks great. Always dig the pictures of the people posting pictures on Instagram of the Swamp Masher. Desert Fox 6-wheel drive, not 4-wheel, because it's 6-wheel. I'm just going to say it. It's an okay vehicle. I think the tan color is a little cheap looking. I think if it was the same color as the Mean Dog, it would actually just add a little bit more to it, in my opinion. So yeah, it's my 2 cents on it. There's your coastal Defender, your Road Toad, and then you get your G.I. Joe RPV. So it actually shoots. If y'all had this, how far did that thing fly? Let me know. There's your Slam. And then we get into the lovely motorized vehicle packs. That's right. So here's all your ones from 87. And looks like they've updated because Sandstorm's in there. Why is Monkey Wrench? Monkey Wrench is there with the axe. I mean, that's kind of fitting for him. Interesting. There's your tank car. Cobra rocket sled, powered by Monkey Wrench again. Cobra. It's just weird to see some 86 figures in an 88 catalog. Why not just use some of your 87 figures? But oh well. Now notice on this, I haven't really called it out, but notice the background again. 87 did the same way. 86 was all black. 86 kind of did the digital exploding, background. They really kind of just like went with a very simplistic exploding background, kind of weak in my opinion. But yeah, I definitely dig the, 83, 84, 85 catalogs. But again, that's when I was actually buying the Joes. So, all right. Battle Force 2000. Here we go. They are listed in this, but they were available in 87. That's just funny that they weren't in the 87 catalog. I had to just kind of double think. I'm like, well, maybe no, they were released in 88 then. But no, they're not. And then here's all the vehicles of Battle Force 2000. What'd y'all think of Battle Force 2000? So I have pretty much, let's see, I'm not a completist. So when I say that, like I have most of, I want to say 82 through 87 figures. Do I have everything that comes with those figures? No. And I'm fine with that. So 87 is complete. I completed it not too long ago, like within the last couple of years. Like I think Jinx was the last one I actually had to. Jinx and the Stephen King looking dude. Can't think of his name. Why can't I think of his name? Hypnotizes you. Anyway, put it in the comments that I'm a doofus and I can't remember my collection. But so yeah, the original run of 87 I completed, but I never knew about Battle Force 2000 in 1987. So Crystal Ball, good gosh, Crystal Ball. Yeah, Crystal Ball and Jinx were the last ones I got. But anyway, I never knew about these. And then when I saw them, many years ago when I started getting into collecting, I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I don't need Battle Force 2000. I am just fine that I'm good. I do have Maverick and I do have the Vector Jet. I got that for my birthday a couple of years ago, so that was kind of cool. All right, let's get into the figures. That's the catalog. That's all the vehicles and playsets and aircraft that we all have looked at. All right, so figures are on the next page. Let's just do this again. Just go through it. Yeah. Just get that good nostalgic hit right here. All right. Here are the figs. G.I. Joe. Different kind of look for G.I. Joe. And get Buddha, Muskrat, Spearhead, and Max. That's what I meant to say earlier. Spearhead, not Sandstorm, I think is what I said. Hit and Run, Lightfoot, Hardball, Blizzard, Repeater, Storm Shadow, and Shockwave. Continuing on, and then the last one is Charbroil, and then we get into the 87 figures. That's still the same picture from 87. It's not an updated picture of any of the 87 guys. If you notice that one, Survival is really bold, like you can really see it. His camo pants are a lot darker, and to me, his head sculpt is different. So anyway, and they still use the prototype Renegades, Slaughter's Renegades, which I actually kind of liked. I liked, if you saw that video, I kind of like those. And then again, we see the figures here again. So a lot of 87 on here. Good part of 88. Where's the Cobra figures? Did I? Okay. They're folded. Wow. So Cobra, here's Joe. Here's Cobra. Here you go. And your new figures for the year are Hydro Viper, Voltar, Iron Grenadier, Road Pig, Astro Viper, Toxo Viper, and then the two other Destro, Iron Grenadier, and then Destro. It's funny they put Iron Grenadier. Oh yeah, it's because Destro came with the vehicle. So yeah, not a lot of Cobras for this year, but that's how it normally was. So, but that's 1988 catalog. What do y'all think of 1988? Was 1988 your first year? It's not a bad year. If that was, if you're still into G.I. Joe, you're getting a lot of great vehicles, some big ones too, and really getting some good figures. My personal favorites from 88 is going to be Hydro Viper is really cool. Iron Grenadier, definitely a top for me. Astro Viper, I like Cobras in space, so Astro Viper, and then Destro. Destro's the top. Just, updated Destro look. There he is. So, and Voltar's cool. My favorite Joes for the year? Let's see. I actually have a few of these. I have Spearhead. I have Hit and Run's great. Love Hit and Run. I have Hardball. I need to get Repeater. I have Shockwave's cool. I have Storm Shadow. There's a lot of good figures in 88. I mean, Charbroil's good. Charbroil, to me, I always thought he was a Cobra when I started getting back into collecting back in 2018. I was like, oh, he's a Cobra. He just looks like a Cobra villain. Anyway, so yeah. Let me know your thoughts and how you felt about 1988. What you had. What was your favorite? Any memories that maybe this was like your first or second year into G.I. Joe? Was it your last year? And put it in the comments and I'll read those comments aloud on the next video. So until then, this was 1988. And hope everyone has a fantastic week. Everyone take care. Yo, Joe.
G.I. Joe will return after